Welcome to CARE's High Frequency Wellness. I'm Care Posick. I have a really special guest with me today. Her name is Dr. Althea Myrie. She is a brilliant researcher and doctor and told me about a special new product just 2 months ago. And oh my gosh, I'm so in love with it. And I think it's so important that I wanted you to hear it from her. So, Dr. Myrie, welcome. I'm so glad you could join us.
Thank you very much.
And
Yeah.
I know you think this is so important, this product, and I do too. Tell me why. What is this product about? What is it doing for us? Who needs it? Why is this the most important thing right now?
For me, it's incredibly important. I've been looking for a tool that would fit the needs that I see this product has the ability to achieve. What I have noticed is that a lot of products fall away, meaning people can use less products and use this product and get much more done, and it's done economically and with high patient compliance because it's so simple. Just a spray in the mouth 2 or 3 times a day or even once a day, and the results are quite incredible.
Why is this different?
What is different is the molecules that are being used have been very well researched. So the molecules that we have with this formula have been proven how much they can help the human biological system. And it's over 40 years of research, incredible evidence-based. And that was an important factor for me to have this understanding about the formula. And why did it have the capabilities that it currently has? Now, my interest in it is that recently I'm a researcher, and what has concerned me considerably is that there's recently was on the Blue Cross and Blue Shield have actually done studies and looking at the alarming decline in the health of the millennials, which are about from 27 to 35, where CDC is showing that more young men have heart attacks now than older men. The roles have been reversed. And people aren't aware of these statistics, and why has it got relevance? Now, because I'm a researcher, I am aware of these statistics, and it was quite alarming to me. And I'm thinking, I have to have a tool to help young and old, because people are literally dropping like flies currently. What I did find was part of the problem is that the amount of radiation that we're exposed to, there are all types of toxins that are impacting our health. A major stressor at the moment I've seen is radiation from our cell phones, wireless routers. So you've got the radiation toxin. If you go on to online, just put in the hidden dangers of microwave, you will talk about DNA strand break. So we're talking about DNA damage, cellular damage to the DNA. Now, why is this critical? If you mix radiation along with chemicals, it causes what in the medical term is genotoxicity. So you're talking about very deep cellular gene expression changing. So you're talking about toxicity to the DNA. Why is this important? I have young people now. I've said to them quite clearly, the diseases that would have taken, they would stay asleep on your DNA until you were probably 50 or 60, late 40s, 50, 60. These diseases I'm now finding, because of the exposure to the radiation to the DNA, these diseases are waking up a lot earlier. They're waking up at 27 to 35.
Wow.
Now we're seeing much more young people going into decline. Now, someone very relevantly asked me on a call, what is the youngest age that's good to give the spray based on the toxicity issue? And I said to her, well, as soon as the baby pops out the womb. And the reason for that is the recent studies they've done showing that the babies are exposed to up to 200 chemicals in the womb. And it's passing into the placenta, into the baby. So we're all coming out on a negative. Now, clearly, toxicity comes, as I said, in many forms. One is obviously if you mix the chemicals. Now, when I say mixed chemicals, I don't think people really have an understanding of how much chemical exposure we have every day. As I said, by the time you start in the bathroom in the morning and you've got the fluoride, which is rat poison, fluoride toothpaste going straight under the tongue, absorbed straight into the bloodstream, that starts your day. I've said to people, if I buy simple soap and I look at the names at the back, I can't pronounce half of them. So it's not so simple at all. So again, any topicals that you're putting on the skin, soap, shower, shampoos, all the chemicals on the back that you can't pronounce, 60%, which is over half of everything you put on your skin, enters your bloodstream. So here's a toxic load again, and we haven't left the bathroom yet in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
So that toxic load is happening. Then we get to the food, with which I know the company is familiar with, is glyphosate, and the pesticides, herbicides on the food. But the problem is all of these chemicals that we're exposed to cause vasoconstriction and restrict blood flow. And we're saying that life is in the blood. So how are we going to improve the blood and improve our health? We need to download and reduce the stresses. And one of the stresses is the environmental toxins. So the chemicals, pesticides, the radiation. Now this spray has the capability to download and reduce all that toxicity, whether from the radiation, the glyphosate, the fluoride, rat poison, toothpaste. All of these chemical exposure is what is driving diseases significantly earlier and faster in the 21st century, which has been giving me so much concern.
I so believe that. Is this the first time you've ever seen a product that does what this does to be able to reduce this toxic load in the blood?
It's the first time I have seen a product that could do it so extensively and so well and have so many other benefits at the same time. When you reduce this toxic load, and significantly it does it in the liver, the organs that take a hit for the toxins is your liver and your kidneys. They have not been able to build enough dialysis sections on the hospitals. I mean, even in London, I was there recently, and the amount of dialysis patients, and they are getting younger and younger. So the toxic load that's hitting the kidney and the liver is becoming overwhelming. When people's ankles are swelling, I say to the doctor, so why is my ankle swelling? Could you tell me, darling? Needless to say, the blood work shows that the kidneys are in perfect order. So why are my ankles swollen? Because that is indicative that my kidneys are not handling fluid very well.
Mm-hmm.
So people have to start reading their own signs, because by the time the doctors can actually see there's something wrong with your kidneys, it has become critical. So dialysis is increasing because the toxic overwhelm on the kidneys is really problematic. So this is a key tool for me for prevention. So you're looking at reduction of the need, from the kidney damage. The liver is indicative, ladies, when we're sweating at night. Most people think, well, the hormones are flowing and all the rest of it, but you produce estrogen, you say estrogen, in the liver. So when ladies are hot at night, it is simply that the liver cannot detox the chemicals of the day through the normal pathway. So the body has a clock. In the morning, we're in anabolic, we're rebuilding. Proteins, everything's growing. But at night, it's detox time. That is why coughs and colds get worse only at night. Because the cough and the cold says, I don't really care that you need to detox now. I'm still going to be here. So that is the detox time, is nighttime, which is a catabolic state. You break things down, you move them out of the body. But the problem is, why are we sweating at night, the ladies that have that problem, and some people even during the day, is indicative that the liver is not able to actually do its job properly. So the body has its own intelligence, and it says, okay, let me be smart. I cannot get these toxins through this liver because it's in overwhelm. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make her bust a sweat and move toxins through the sweating process.
Interesting. I never heard it explained that way. That's brilliant. So many things that you've explained to me are not what I have heard before, but they make perfect sense.
And that's what I'm hoping for people that, hear this information. I look at how are we going to optimize the spray? And I go often to meetings and I watch or conferences with wonderful products that can optimize our health. But what are we doing every day around that product to increase optimization of our health? Well, what we don't seem to understand is 1 cup of coffee will remove 4 glasses of water from your body. 1 cup of tea, 3 glasses. So if I'm in London all day, want some tea, love? Do you want some tea? Or, yeah, it's coffee time.
Yeah.
We talk about dialysis. Not only is it toxic overwhelm to the kidneys, it is also severe dehydration. We're talking about the life is in the blood, and this spray significantly impacts blood behavior. So you're talking about no more constriction because the level of toxicity is so significantly reduced that it allows an expansion. So we're talking about increased blood flow, which then affects so many things in the body, requires blood flow.
Oh, just to think. I mean, so many people just don't even think well. So you need blood flow to your brain more than any place else, and your heart and liver. Oh my gosh. So this increases the blood flow.
Increases the blood flow, which then has multiple effects on, which is one of the key components of why the spray is so inordinately powerful as a tool. If somebody has an injury, there's an athlete, accelerated healing of the injury, and someone said to me, well, the coach said 6 weeks for repair, and in a week it was repaired. Well, how is that possible? Well, I know from my world that what the spray is doing is that when you sustain an injury, there's a cascade of events that means there's no blood flow to that area anymore, which means oxygenation. Right. If you are having the spray at the same time you've had the injury or as close to it as possible, you literally interrupt that cascade of events.
Oh, wow.
It never gets to the point where there's no blood flow. There's constant blood flow to that injury. So accelerated ability to heal because it prevented going into the full cascade. And that's where you get an acceleration of a broken.
Brilliant. Can you spray this topically as well?
Absolutely. That is the other excellent thing about it. Apart from just topically spraying it in the mouth, it can be used, in the mouth, it can be used topically extremely well for any issues that are happening on the body as well. So it has that adaptability, which again is unusual for many products. They don't.
So if you're getting rid of toxins out of the bloodstream, and these are all things that are real low frequency. Yeah. What about things like low frequency emotions or programs?
Right, exactly. Well, I've come to the conclusion after 20 years of research, and I'm a facts and figure girl, yeah. But I had to open up the mind and say there's other things going on. And one of them I found significantly is the emotions underpin most diseases, no matter whatever names we call them. And those are low frequencies of the emotions. High frequency, you see, if you can get to a high frequency vibration, the lower frequencies have to fall away, whatever those are. Toxins are a low vibration, low frequency. Anything negative is the low. Anything with a high vibration will literally cause the low frequency vibrational toxins to fall away. And that's the power of the product. So the emotional toxins that are negative, anger, rage, blame, and all of those that drive us as human beings are low frequency. The high ones are love, self-love, compassion.
Yeah.
Are what are the high frequency. And I think I'd indicated to you in the beginning that my sense of the product was that it was actually working on the emotional toxins on that high frequency. Mm-hmm. And that is coming to pass by some of the case histories that we're seeing, that is also true. And for me, that also makes it much more powerful because I'm always having to struggle with people where the emotions are overriding their ability to heal. Yeah?
Yeah.
This is where it also has a great power But these things we're covering are critical to what's happening in the 21st century. We've got, if we're saying there's 200 chemicals in the umbilical cord, the baby's coming out on a deficit. So I'm seeing young people are not doing well at all because they're starting from a negative. If you've seen the food the mother's eating when they're pregnant and what she's drinking, the chemical load is way too high. I think in New York, Kumo, somebody was trying to get to change the law that they can't drink these gallon drinks of sodas.
Yeah.
Of course, they felt they were being told what to do, so nobody wanted to hear. But the fact is, the consumption, when you can get a free drink, free refills in the shops, in the restaurants, I tell people, poison is free. There's no nutritive value in this thing, none at all. So again, those levels of how much people are consuming are very toxic, and it creates high inflammation in the body. But as we say, all these toxins have to go through the liver and the kidney. And this is where the spray excels because it goes straight to the toxins. So if you consume them in the morning, by the evening, they're not there. So no cumulative factor.
What else I think is really phenomenal about this? This is not something that you take. This is something you spray in your mouth. This is so simple. This is just this pretty little container that you can carry in your pocket or your purse and spray it before you eat a meal. It's more effective before you eat a meal. Why is that?
What happens? The molecules, when we eat, we produce digestive enzymes in the stomach, pancreas, and the liver are all involved in digestion. So you produce pancreatic enzymes in the liver, and the gut. You then have digestive juices, and so because those things are produced once you've eaten, then it enhances the breakdown of the molecules. So hence, you'll still get a result if you don't do it with food. But if you want to optimize it, then you 15 minutes before the meal. It takes 15 minutes to get to the gut, and then it will be broken down, and you have much more benefit.
Gotcha.
So that's the reason why.
I can't see anybody that wouldn't need this. Can you?
Not at all. As I'm saying, by air that we're breathing in, by water we're consuming that is of low quality and full of toxins.
Yeah.
Water has, I don't know how much in it. The food, that is a growing problem, and that's not going to go away. So we have to start looking at preventative tools so we can protect ourselves from this onslaught. And it is a significant onslaught. And the simplicity of it, it's so beautiful. You can give it to the children who definitely need it. They are not doing well. Their brains are not functioning to optimal capacity for many reasons. And their diet, if they're low income, is diabolical. They've done studies in the poorer neighborhoods. You can't even find a vegetable. So there is a need for us in the 21st century to, without a doubt,
the other thing is it's affordable.
I was about to get to that. Yes, exactly. It is that my other thing that I love so much, why it was so the perfect solution, because this is accessible cost-wise to most people and without breaking the bank. My husband calls Whole Foods, he calls it whole paycheck.
Yeah.
But this is accessible for the many. And that was a very important factor for me for the product, to have all these capabilities, all this ability for prevention, but then to have a price that is affordable was a very key component.
I think this is the most important product that I have ever seen. And I think it is a gift from God. I mean, we are, as you say, in such dire straits. Physically, mentally, emotionally, we live in toxic soup. And this is one thing that can help neutralize that so that we can live healthy enough to solve the problems that we've created.
And man has created them. And the other aspect we didn't cover, apart from the other toxins, is just the ones of infections. We have viruses, bacteria, we have fungal, mold. Asthma is caused by a fungus called Aspergillus fumigatus. Aspergillus in the lungs causes asthma. So someone in a house with mold, they're going to have more respiratory problems simply because
Mm-hmm.
they're in more mold. So this is also a growing situation because when the radiation, the EMF from the computers, the router, and all the rest is combined with mold, the mold grows exponentially, like at 5 times the
Oh
speed.
my gosh. Well, and now 5G.
Well, then we're going to trouble with 5G.
We
So
need, we need this product.
very badly.
We
It is.
need this. Every one of us needs this product. I am so just so blessed to know you and that you shared this with me. It has made a huge impact on my husband's life and our family. And I want everybody to know about this. I think this is probably the most important thing I've ever had to share with people. And so many people that I've shared it with have felt the same way. They start writing down names of people that need it and thinking of who in their family needs it, and it's everybody.
Yeah, I agree. It is everybody because it doesn't matter what somebody has going on. You can guarantee that part of the problem is toxic load,
Yeah.
has a contributory factor. And from that premise, you can obviously assume that the spray is going to help in some way, some significant way, based on the toxic load, and that as a contributory factor to the disease process or whatever problem you're having. Someone said to me that their Chihuahua, a little dog, extraordinary. Everybody was coming to see the dog because the friends nearby, the dog was dying. Suddenly the dog is racing around and come to life from the spray because the life is in the blood. And the blood was able to perform at a much more optimized function. So the dog was able, and animals, they respond very quickly to these things.
You're talking about molecules. You're talking about like the master molecules out of some of the most profound plants on the planet. I don't think anybody's ever done this. And to be able to get them into our bodies, directly into our bloodstream, so they're carriers of knowledge, nature's wisdom. I mean, that's what we're doing with this, is we're partnering with nature to help get us back into balance because we have so gone off the deep end in so many ways.
And I agree with you. It's a good way of putting it. Is using nature to bring us back into balance. I remember I went to do a talk and there was a woman and she said to me, "Well, these herbs certainly don't they need FDA approval?" And I said, "Are you saying that God's pharmacy requires FDA approval?" And that is not the case. These things are nature. And what I like in particular, the spray in itself is not actually changing the diseases. What it's allowing is enabling your body to function at a more optimal state and therefore use the body's own intelligence to do the corrections.
Yeah.
So I like the premise that the life is in the blood. If you increase blood production, you change everything in the body. But it's not the spray changing it. The spray is the enabler.
Mm-hmm.
The body, what it needs, the molecules with that information to then enable that body to kick in and use its own intelligence to start making its own corrections.
Yeah, brilliant. Well, is there anything else you want to say?
No, I think I have spoken enough for today.
Oh, beautifully. Oh, thank you so much for that brilliant explanation. I just love who you are, and I'll tell you. Now, you're in New York, right?
Indeed, madam.
Okay. This is, I think, the most important product that I've ever found. Thank you for Dr. Myrie for bringing it to me so that we can share it with everybody. Everybody needs this. So if you want more information about this, ask the person who shared this video with you. They're using it, they're having their own experiences that they can share with you and can help you get some too. So thank you, Dr. Myrie. Blessings for your health.
Thank you for having me. Blessings to you.
Thank you. Bye now.